friends, welcome and welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Sigrid and I make videos about books because I love them. Today I'm going to be doing one of my biggest book of the month unboxings I've ever done because I have been waiting for so long to unbox these boxes for you. So I will be unboxing 8 boxes. So I get 2 boxes every month, so that's 4 months worth of boxes. So I'm going to quickly get into them because this might be a long video. So grab something to drink, maybe a snack or two, and let's get started with unboxings. So first up, we're going to start with my April boxes. Let's just dive right in. The first book that I got was Kaikeyi. This is by Vaishnavi Patel. You know what? If that is right, I pat on the back. Cause what? Yes, Sigrid. I think that was right. If you are unfamiliar with Book of the Month, it is an affordable book subscription box for only, I think the prices just went up, but originally it was $14.99. I think it might be $15.99 now, which is still affordable for a hardcover newly released novel and a bookmark every single month. And you get to choose between 5, and if you would like, you can choose to add on additional books for, I believe, $10.99. It used to be $9.99. But I do have a link in the description box. If you guys want to get your first box for $5, you can use my link. And if you do, I get a free credit that I can use towards an add-on to support my future videos. So, awesome. So I was told that if I like Song of Achilles, that this is like on that. So it's like Greek mythology or something. I haven't read Song of Achilles, but I do have it. I plan to read it. And this actually sounded really interesting when I saw it. So I'm going to read. I was born on the full moon under an auspicious constellation, the holiest of positions, much good it did me. So begins Kaikeyi's story. The only daughter of the kingdom of Kaikeyi, she is raised on tales of the gods, how they churn the vast ocean to obtain the nectar of immortality, how they vanquish evil and ensure the lands of Bharat prospers, and how they offer powerful boons to the worthy. Yet she watches as her father unceremoniously banishes her mother, listens as her own worth is reduced to the marriage alliance she can secure, and when she calls upon the gods for help, they never seem to hear. Desperate for independence, she turns to the texts she once read with her mother and discovers a magic that is hers alone. With it, Kaikeyi transforms herself from an overlooked princess into a warrior, diplomat, and most favored queen. But as the evil from her childhood stories threaten the cosmic order, the path she has forged clashes with the destiny the gods have chosen for her family, and Kaikeyi must decide if resistance is worth the destruction it will wreak and what legacy she intends to leave behind. I'm actually nervous because this sounds like something that is going to be very much high fantasy, and I don't really read a lot of high fantasy, so I will give it a shot, but I'm nervous. Okay, so I did get 2 add-ons in this box. So the first one is Blacktop Wasteland by S.A. Crosby. I do have another book by S.A. Crosby, and that is Razorblade Tears. I've heard really good things about it. In fact, last year it was nominated. It was in the running for Best Book of the Year. And so I believe this is their first novel, but I'm not really sure. But it's definitely another novel from them. So I'm excited. And it does look like it's going to be like a quick read. So it's a thriller. I'm always down for a thriller. A husband, a father, a son, a business owner, and the best getaway driver east of the Mississippi. Beauregard Bug Montague is an honest mechanic, a loving husband, and a hard-working dad. Bug knows there's no future in the man he used to be. Known from the hills of North Carolina to the beaches of Florida as the best wheelman on the East Coast. He thought he'd left all that behind him, but as money gets tight, his carefully built new life begins to crumble. Pushed to his limits by poverty, race, and his own former life of crime, Bug finds himself drawn inexorably back into that world. When a smooth-talking former associate comes calling with the can't-miss jewelry store heist, Bug feels he has no choice but to get back in the driver's seat. And Bug is at his best when the scent of gasoline mixes with the smell of fear. Hunted by the ghost of who he used to be and the father who disappeared when he needed him most, Bug must find a way to navigate this blacktop wasteland. Or die trying. Sounds good. Oh, he lives in Virginia. That's really close. Okay, so I'm excited. I definitely want to read something by it. Honestly, I want to read both of the books together and probably like vlog it maybe. Next up, we have a little bit of true crime. So we have My Friend Anna by Rachel Deloach Williams. This is the true story of a fake heiress. I know there is like a Lifetime TV show or a movie about this, so it intrigued me. And oh yeah, I think it's a TV show. Vanity Fair photo editor Rachel Deloach Williams' new friend Anna DeLay, a self-proclaimed German heiress, was worldly and ambitious. She was also generous, picking up the tab for lavish dinners in Lake Coco, infrared sauna sessions at Hybridose, drinks at the 11 Howard Library Bar, and regular workout sessions with a celebrity personal trainer. When Anna proposed an all-expenses-paid trip to Marrakech at the five-star La Mamorny hotel, Rachel jumped at the chance. But after Anna's credit card mysteriously stopped working, the dream vacation quickly took a dark turn. Anna asked Rachel to begin fronting costs, first for flights, then meals and shopping, and finally for their $7,500 a night private villa. Before Rachel knew it, more than $62,000 had been charged to her credit cards. Anna swore she would reimburse Rachel the moment they returned to New York. Back in Manhattan, the repayment never materialized, and a shocking pattern of deception emerged. Rachel learned that Anna had left a trail of deceit and unpaid bills wherever she'd been. Mortified, Rachel contacted the district attorney, and in a stunning turn of events, found herself helping to bring down one of the city's most notorious con artists. Wow. Anna. This sounds really freaking interesting. And I like that it's separated into chapters. Like, it has a table of contents. I'm really excited about reading this. I kind of feel like I will probably get to this really soon because this sounds really interesting. And then we also got a bookmark that says use me or lose me. Moving on to the second book of the month box for the month of April. The first book that I got was Like a Sister by Kelly Garrett. No one bats an eye when a black reality TV star is found dead, except her estranged half-sister, whose refusal to believe the official story leads her on a dangerous search for the truth. When the body of Desiree Pierce is found on a playground in New York City the morning after her 25th birthday party, the police and the media are quick to declare her death an overdose. A tragedy, certainly, but not a crime. Yet Desiree's half-sister, Lena Scott, knows that can't be the case. A graduate student at Columbia, Lena has spent the past decade forging her own path, far from the spotlight. But despite the bitter truth that the women haven't spoke in 2 years, torn apart by Desiree's partying and by their father Mel, a wealthy hip-hop mogul, some facts about Desiree wouldn't have changed. Desiree would never travel above 125th Street, so why is no one listening to Lena? Lena becomes determined to find justice for her half-sister, even if it means untangling her family's darkest secrets or ending up dead herself. Wow, this sounds really, really good. I had no idea that the characters were black, and I had no idea that it was written by a BIPOC author. But I'm so happy that despite me knowing all of those things, I still ended up getting a diverse novel. Okay, so the next add-on that I got is Blacktop by Charmaine Wilkinson. We can't choose what we inherit, but we can choose who we become. In present-day California, Eleanor Bennett's death leaves behind a puzzling inheritance for her 2 children, Byron and Benny. A traditional Caribbean black cake made from a family recipe with a long history and a voice recording. In her message, Eleanor shares a tumultuous story about a headstrong young swimmer who escapes her island home under suspicion of murder. The heartbreaking tale Eleanor unfolds, the secrets she still holds back, and the mystery of a long-lost child challenge everything the siblings thought they knew about their lineage and themselves. Can Byron and Benny reclaim their once close relationship, piece together Eleanor's true history, and fulfill her final request to share the black cake when the time is right? Will their mother's revelation bring them back together or leave them feeling more lost than ever? Wow. Okay, so I this is a past book that I ended up passing on the first time it was available because I was like, that doesn't seem like something I would be interested in. But then I kept hearing a lot of people talk about it and how it was a mystery. And I was, yeah, it's a thriller. So I always get the thriller. So I was like, let me go back and get it because it sounds really good. And I think it's written by a BIPOC author. Yes, it is. So excited about that. Always here to support. And the last add-on I got was Lessons in Chemistry by BodyGuard. And I have heard bad things about this book recently. So not like it's problematic or anything, but like people didn't like it. So now I'm thinking like I probably made a mistake picking it, but I'm still going to give it a chance and see if I like it because sometimes I like things that other people don't. Okay, so it says chemist Elizabeth Zott is not your average woman. In fact, Elizabeth Zott would be the first to point out that there is no such thing as an average woman. But it's the early 1960s and her all-male team at Hastings Research Institution takes a very unscientific view of equality. Except for one, Calvin Evans, the lonely, brilliant Nobel Prize nominated grudge holder who falls in love with, of all things, her mind. True chemistry results. Like science, though, life is unpredictable, which is why a few years later, Elizabeth Zott finds herself not only a single mother, but also the reluctant star of America's most beloved cooking show, Supper at 6. Elizabeth's unusual approach to cooking, combined 1 tablespoon acetic acid with a pinch of sodium chloride, proves revolutionary. But as her following grows, not everyone is happy. Because as it turned out, Elizabeth Zott isn't just teaching women to cook, she's daring them to change the status quo. Lessons in chemistry. That is cute. So she's teaching them chemistry on a cooking show. I am excited to read this. Despite what I've heard about people not liking this book, I'm still going to give it a chance. It sounds good from this, like what I just read. I absolutely love books about women empowerment, so that seems like something I would like. Once again, we got a second bookmark that says the same thing. Okay, we have our first May box. The first book is Darling Girl by Liz Michalski. This is a retelling of Peter Pan. Life is looking up for Holly Darling, granddaughter of Wendy. Yes, that Wendy. She's running a successful skincare company. Her son Jack is happy and healthy, and the tragedy of her past is well behind her. Until she gets a call that her daughter Eden, who has been in a coma for nearly a decade, has gone missing from the estate where she's been long tucked away. And worst of all, Holly knows who must be responsible. Peter Pan, who is not only very real, but very dangerous. Eden has a rare condition, a secret that Holly is desperate to protect, especially from Eden's half-brother Jack, who knows nothing about his sister or the crucial role she plays in his life. Holly has no one to turn to. Her mother Jane is the only other person in the world who knows that Peter is more than a story, but she refuses to accept that he is not the hero she's always imagined. Desperate, Holly enlists the help of Christopher Cook, a notorious ex-soldier, in the hopes of rescuing Eden before she loses both her children. Darling Girl brings all the magic of the classic Peter Pan story to the present, while also exploring the dark underpinnings of fairy tale, grief, aging, sacrifice, motherhood, and just how far we will go to protect those we love. This sounds freaking amazing. Like, what? I am excited. I'm excited. Like, this is really... Okay, let's move on. I have so many books to get through. Okay, the next book that I ended up getting was Siren Queen by Niji Vo. Because, yes, I love the cover. I can't wait to do, like, a cute picture with this. It was magic. In every world, it was a kind of magic. No maids, no funny talking, no fainting flowers. Lulu Wei is beautiful, talented, and desperate to be a star. Coming of age in pre-code Hollywood, she knows how dangerous the movie business is and how limited roles are for Chinese American girls from Hungarian Hill, but she doesn't care. She'd rather play a monster than a maid. But in Lulu's world, the worst monsters in Hollywood are not the ones on screen. The studios want to own everything from her face to her name to the woman she loves, and they run on a system of bargains made in blood and ancient magic, powered by the endless sacrifice of the unlucky starlets like her. For those who do survive to earn their fame, success comes with a steep price. Luli is willing to do whatever it takes, even if that means becoming the monster herself. Siren Queen offers up an enthralling exploration of an outsider achieving stardom on her own terms, a fantastical Hollywood where the monsters are real and the magic of the silver screen illuminates every page. Whoa! This is really cool. So it looks like it's going to be a very short novel, and it has like really big font. I feel like most of Book of the Month's font is like big too, so I feel like I can definitely read this in probably a day. And the last book in this box is The Change by Kirsten Miller. It says it's not over, it's time. After Nessa James' husband dies and her twin daughters leave for college, she's left all alone in a trim white house near the ocean. In the quiet of her late 40s, the former nurse begins to hear voices. It doesn't take long for Nessa to realize that the voices calling out to her belong to the dead, a gift she's inherited from her grandmother, which comes with special responsibilities. Can I just read the books right now? Like, let's end this video and read this book, because I love that. On the cusp of 50, suave advertising director Harriet Osborne has just witnessed the implosion of her lucrative career in her marriage. She hasn't left her house in months. From the outside, it appears as if she and her garden have both gone to seed, but Harriet's life is far from over. In fact, she's undergone a stunning and very welcome metamorphosis. Ambitious former executive Joe Livingston has spent 30 long years at war with her body. The free-floating rage and hot flashes that arrive with menopause feel like the very last straw, until she realizes she can channel them and finally come into her power. Guided by voices only Nessa can hear, the trio discovers a teenage girl whose body was abandoned beside a remote beach. The police has written the victim off, but the women refuse to buy into the official narrative. Their investigation leads to more bodies into the town's most exclusive and isolated enclave. A world of stupendous wealth where the rules don't apply. With their newfound powers, Joe, Nessa, and Harriet will take matters into their own hands. Okay, Kirsten. I'm excited about this one, you guys. This sounds fantastic. This sounds like it's going to be a 5-star read. I'm predicting this 5 stars. It sounds really, really good. Okay, and we got a bookmark, and this one says, please don't stop. How cute. It always have like a quirky saying that I just love to say with you guys. Okay, so we're on to our next May box. The first book I got is Take My Hand, and this is by Dolen Perkins Valdez. A searing and compassionate new novel about a young black nurse's shocking discovery and burning quest for justice in post-segregation Alabama. I'm from Alabama, if you guys didn't know, so that's probably why I got this book. All right. Montgomery, Alabama, 1973. Fresh out of nursing school, Sybil Townsend intends to make a difference, especially in her African-American community. At the Montgomery Family Planning Clinic, she hopes to help women shake their destinies, to make their own choices for their lives and bodies. But when her first week on the job takes her along a dusty country road to a worn-down one-room cabin, Sybil is shocked to learn that her new patients, Erica and India, are children, just 11 and 13 years old. Neither of the Williams sisters has even kissed a boy, but they are poor and black, and for those handing the family welfare benefits, that's reason enough to have the girls on birth control. As Sybil grapples with her role, she takes India, Erica, and their family into her heart until one day she arrives at their door to learn the unthinkable has happened, and nothing will ever be the same for any of them. Decades later, with her daughter grown and a long career in her way, Dr. Sybil Townsend is ready to retire, to find her peace and to leave the past behind. But there are people and stories that refuse to be forgotten, that must not be forgotten, because history repeats what we don't remember. Inspired by true events and brimming with hope, Take My Hand is a stirring exploration of accountability and redemption. Wow. Okay. I will say, normally I don't like historical fiction, But this sounds like it's going to be something that I would actually be interested in reading. And I think that's why I got it. Obviously, I read the summaries for all of the books that I pick, and that's why I picked them. But I feel like I'm going to like this book. Okay, so next up we have the Hacienda by Isabel Cañas. Alright, so Mexican Gothic meets Rebecca in this debut supernatural suspense novel set in the aftermath of the Mexican War of Independence about a remote house, a sinister haunting, and the woman pulled into their clutches. During the overthrow of the Mexican government, Beatrice's father was executed and her home destroyed. When handsome Don Rodolfo Solorzano proposes, Beatrice ignores the rumors surrounding his first wife's sudden demise, choosing instead to seize the security that his estate in the countryside provides. She will have her own home again, no matter the cost. But Hacienda San Isidro is not the sanctuary she imagined. When Rodolfo returns to work in the capital, visions and voices invade Beatrice's sleep. The weight of invisible eyes follow her every move. Rodolfo's sister, Juana, scoffs at Beatrice's fear. But why does she refuse to enter the house at night? Why does the cook burn copal incense at the edge of the kitchen and mark the doorway with strange symbols? What really happened to the first Doña Solorzano? Beatrice only knows two things for certain. Something is wrong with the Hacienda, and no one there will save her. Desperate for help, she clings to the young priest, Padre Andres, as an ally. No ordinary priest, Andres will have to rely on his skills as a witch to battle the malevolent presence haunting the Hacienda. Far from a refuge, San Isidro may be Beatrice's doom. Oh, wow. So, yeah, this definitely reminds me of Mexican Gothic. I read Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. I think I gave it 3 stars. It wasn't my favorite novel, but I did find it to be intriguing. So I will definitely give this one a chance as well. So excited about that. Next up, we have another thriller that I added on, and this one is called Breathless by Amy McCullough. There's a killer on the mountain. Journalist Cecily Wong is in over her head. She's come to Malisloo, the 8th highest peak in the world, to interview internationally famous mountaineer Charles McVeigh on the last leg of a record-breaking series of summit. She's giving up everything for this story. Her boyfriend, her life savings, the peace she's made with her climbing failures in the past, but it's a career-making opportunity. It could finally put her life back on track. But when one climber dies in what everyone else assumes is a freak accident, she fears their expedition is in danger. And by the time a second climber dies, it's too late to turn back. Stranded on a mountain in one of the most remote regions of the world, she'll have to battle more than the elements in a harrowing fight for survival against a killer who is picking them off one by one. Breathless. This reminds me of One by One by Ruth Ware. I haven't read it, but I know that they're like in like this middle of nowhere mountain thing where lots of snow and someone is picking them off one by one. So sounds the same. I'm excited to read this. I love a thriller. I'm not really the biggest fan of like snow and I don't know. I'll still read it and I'm sure I'll enjoy it. Once again, we have the Please Don't Stop a bookmark. And that is the end of the May boxes. We're going to move on to my birthday month, which was June. If you guys are unfamiliar, if you have been subscribed with Book of the Month for at least 12 months, you become what is known as a BFF. And with that, you get a free book during your birthday month as an add-on. I have 2 accounts, so I got 2 free books, and I'm super excited. Okay, so the first book I got was The Lies I Tell by Julie Clark. This is obviously a thriller. You guys know how I do. She's back. Meg Williams, Maggie Littleton, Melody Wiles. Different names for the same person depending on the towns, depending on the job. She's a con artist who erases herself to become whoever you need her to be. A college student, a life coach, a real estate agent. But nothing about her is real. She slides alongside you and tells you exactly what you want to hear. And by the time she's done, you've likely lost everything. Kat Roberts have been waiting 10 years for the woman who upended her life to return. And now that she has, Kat is determined to be the one to expose her. But as the two women grow closer, Kat's long-held assumptions begin to crumble, leaving Kat to wonder who's Meg's true target is. The Lies I Tell is a twisted domestic thriller that dives deep into the psyches and motivations of two women in their unwavering quest to seek justice for the past and rewrite the future. This sounds good too, and it's a very short book, so trust me, one of these days I'm just going to read all of my Book of the Month thrillers. Okay, and next up, I think this is the freebie that I got, and it is Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier. When Paris Peralta is arrested in her own bathroom covered in blood, holding a straight razor, her celebrity husband dead in the bathtub behind her, she knows she'll be charged with murder. But as bad as this looks, that's not what worries her the most. With unwanted media attention now surrounding her, it's only a matter of time before someone from her long-hidden past recognizes her and destroys the new life she's worked so hard to build, along with any chance of a future. 25 years earlier, Ruby Reyes, known as the Ice Queen, was convicted of a similar murder in a trial that was a media sensation and riveted the nation. Reyes knows who Paris really is, and when Reyes is unexpectedly granted an early release from prison, she threatens to expose all of Paris's secrets. Left with no other choice, Paris must finally, once and for all, confront the dark past she thought she had escaped, because the only thing worse than a murder charge is the dark personal history that Paris will do anything to keep hidden. What does she do in the dark? Oh, what? I'm excited. This sounds good. This sounds really good. I'm excited. Okay, and we also got a bookmark that says, "You'll never guess what happens next." I love it. I love their bookmarks. I love it so much. Okay, and we're on to our second birthday month box, the June box. Okay, I'm so excited about this because I ended up reading a sample of this one before selecting it, and I want to read it so bad, like immediately. So this one is The Lifestyle by Taylor Hahn. The writing style is just so, like, I love it so much. You know what? I'm going to read a snippet of it just so you guys can see. All right. Georgina Wagman has it all. A great marriage, a great job at a prestigious law firm, and great friends. She's living the life she's always wanted, and everything is perfect. Until, that is, she walks in on her husband, Nathan, in a compromising position with a junior associate. Georgina has a moment of crisis, but divorce is not a part of her 5-year plan, so she comes up with an idea to save her marriage and recapture the spark. She and Nathan are going to become swingers. Georgina isn't going to embark on this adventure alone, though. Her friends Felix and Nora and their respective partners decided to tag along for the ride. They've got relationship woes of their own that swinging just might fix. Georgina, convinced Felix and Nora belong together, is thrilled. What better place to reignite romance between two people destined to be together than a swingers party? Her plan is foolproof until she runs into a college ex at the first party. When they reconnect, Georgina will find herself torn between her head and her heart, with her very happiness hanging in the balance. Okay, I'm going to read like a few lines from chapter 1 so you guys can see how the writing style is. I just love it. Okay. Georgina Wegman's life was so good she felt bad about it. Not so bad she'd change anything, but bad enough she made it her mission to help others reach their potential in love, career, and Epicurean delights. So it was the best of intentions that she ordered 4 boxes of the richest, crispiest cannoli in New York City for the junior associates working late on Friday night and hand-delivered them office to office. How could she have known they'd give everyone food poisoning? The Italian bakery was A-rated by the health department. Or that the 30th floor restrooms were closed for cleaning. Building management should have waited until after hours for that. Everyone knows lawyers work through dinner. Facts. Sweaty and groaning, the associate had scattered 30 minutes later, some to the privacy of their apartments, others to the stairwells in search of a restroom on a different floor, except one first-year associate named Meredith DeLuca. When Georgina had stopped by Meredith's offer with the box of cannoli on display, she'd politely declined. "I don't have much of a sweet tooth," she said. I just know it's Meredith. It is Meredith. She is the person her husband did the thing with. You guys see how the writing style is? It just, I like it. It's so easy to read. Like, I just flew by. And it you know, it's not a chore. The next book that I pick as an add-on is by Rebecca Searle. It's One Italian Summer. I read a book by Rebecca. Oh, I read In 5 Years by Rebecca, and also it was another book. It was another book. I forgot what it's called, but it was kind of like the people that the dinner list. That's what it was. They were both really good, but I really liked In 5 Years. When Katie Mothers dies, she is left reeling. Carol wasn't just Katie's mom, but her best friend and first phone call. Even Katie's husband can't seem to get through to her. She is lost without her anchor. Her mother was her true north. To make matters worse, the mother-daughter trip of a lifetime looms, going to Positano, following the very same route Carol did as a young woman. Katie has been waiting years for Carol to take her, and now suddenly she is faced with embarking on the adventure alone. Aww. But as soon as she stepped foot on the beautiful Amalfi Coast, buoyed by the stunning cliffside, delectable food, and charming hotel staff, Katie begins to feel her mother's spirit. And then Carol appears for real. Her mama ain't dead. In the flesh, healthy and suntanned, and 30 years old. What? Katie doesn't understand what is happening or how, but over the course of her time in Italy, Katie gets to know Carol in this new form, and soon she must reconcile the mother who knew everything with the young woman who does not yet have a clue. One Italian Summer is Rebecca Searle's next great love story, a transcendent novel about how we move on after loss and how the people we love never truly leaves us. Oh my gosh, I love this. I was not expecting that. At first, I will be honest, it was losing me. Because I'm like, I don't want to like read this sad story. Like, that's just not my thing. I did not want to read the sad story. But when they was like, her mom is there in the flesh, that piqued my interest. That brought me back. Because at first I was like, this is going to my friend. Like, I don't have time to read about this girl. No. I don't want to be sad. I want fantasy. I want something to happen. I want a thriller. I want a mystery. I do not want to be sad unless it's a fantasy and someone dies. That wouldn't make me sad. It depends if I like that character. Anyways, on to the next add-on. The Stars and the Blackness Between Them. This is by Junauda Petrus. Okay. Port of Spain, Trinidad. 16-year-old Andre is heartbroken, having just found out she's going to live in America with her father because her mother caught her with her secret girlfriend, the pastor's granddaughter. Ooh, tea. Audrey's grandmother, a dancer who drives a white convertible Mercedes and has a few secrets of her own, reassures Audrey that she won't lose her roots, not even in some place called this is the one place I can't say. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Is it Minnesota? Minneapolis? Oh, I said it. Dang it. Okay, you guys know what I'm saying. America, have they spirits too? Believe me, she tells Andre. 16-year-old Maybelle is staring at a picture of Whitney Houston, trying to figure out why she feels the way she feels about her ex Terrell, about her girl Jada, and that moment they had in the woods, and about the vague feeling of illness that plagues her all summer. Maybelle's reverie is cut short when her dad announces that a friend and his just-arrived from Trinidad daughter are coming for dinner. Mabel falls hard and fast for Andre, and she's determined to help Andre find her way in America. Never an easy thing for a black girl, as she knows, but their romance takes a turn when test results reveal exactly why Maybelle has been feeling low-key sick all summer. Suddenly, it's Audrey who must care for Maybelle, and she faces a deeply uncertain future. Oh no, what's wrong? What's going on? I'm excited. I have wanted to read this book since it came out, and I don't know why it took me so long to get it. It's sapphic, it's YA, and it's a YA romance. Maybe that's why, because I don't typically like YA romances. But I just love supporting authors of color. Make sure. Yeah, I just love supporting authors of color, and I love seeing love between like black kids. Like I do love that. So I'm gonna give it a chance, and I definitely want to see what's going on with the girl's health. So excited to get to that. We have another bookmark that says you'll never guess what's happened. So we just have the July boxes to unbox now. So the first one, The first one we have is The Bodyguard by Catherine Center. She's got his back. Hannah Brooks looks more like a kindergarten teacher than someone who could kill you with a corkscrew or a ballpoint pen or a dinner napkin. But the truth is, she's an executive protection agent, aka bodyguard, and she just got hired to protect superstar actor Jake Stapleton from his middle-aged corgi breeding stalker. This is interesting. When I heard the bodyguard, I immediately assumed that it was the guy who was the bodyguard. I love this flip. I love it. He's got her heart. Jake Stapleton's a household name. He's captured by paparazzis on beaches the world over and famous for, among other things, rising out of the waves in all manner of clingy board shorts and glistening like a Roman deity. But a few years back, in the wake of a family tragedy, he dropped from the public eye and went off the grid. They've got a secret. When Jack's mom gets sick, he goes home to a family's Texas ranch to help out. Only one catch. He doesn't want his family to know about his stalker or the bodyguard thing, and so Hannah, against her will and better judgment, finds herself pretending to be Jack's girlfriend as a cover. I love fake dating tropes. Yes, this is gonna be a 5-star prediction. Even though her ex says no one will believe it. What could possibly go wrong? Hannah hardly believes it herself, but the more time she spends with Jack, the more real it all starts to seem, and therein lies the heartbreak. Because it's easy for Hannah to protect Jack, but protecting her own long neglected heart, that's the hardest thing she's ever done. Oh my gosh, I am happy about this. I can't wait to read this. Then we have a add-on, and a secret thing about this is my friend also subscribed to Book of the Month, and she picked this, and I dared her that she could not finish the book before the end of July. It is currently July 23rd, and I don't know where she is in the book, but I know she hasn't finished, so far I am winning. You guys, wish me luck, because the last time I betted her, I lost. You are the next step in human evolution. At first, Logan Ramsey isn't sure if anything's different. He just feels a little sharper, better able to concentrate, better at multitasking, reading a bit faster, memorizing better, needing less sleep. But before long, he can't deny it. Something's happened to his brain, to his body. He's starting to see the world and those around him, even those he loves most, in a whole new way. The truth is, Logan's genome has been hacked, and there's a reason he's been targeted for this upgrade. A reason that goes back decades to the darkest part of his past and a horrific family legacy. Or still, what's happening to him is just the first step in a much larger plan, one that will inflict the same changes on humanity at large, at a terrifying cost. Logan's the one person in the world capable of stopping what's been set in motion. But to have a chance at winning this war, he'll have to become something other than himself, maybe even something other than human. And even as he's fighting, he can't help wondering, what if humanity's only hope for future really does lie in engineering our own evolution? Intimate in scale, yet epic in scope, Upgrade is an intricately plotted, lightning-fast tale that charts one man's thrilling transformation, even as it asks us to ponder the limits of our humanity and our boundless potential. Wow. So this sounds really, really good, and I hope my friend does not finish it so that I can win the bet. The last book that I selected for the month of July was Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. On a bitter cold day in the December of his junior year at Harvard, Sam Masur exits a subway car and sees amid the hordes of people waiting on the platform Sadie Green. He calls her name. For a moment she pretends she hasn't heard him, but then she turns and a game begins. A legendary collaboration that will launch them to stardom. These friends, intimate since childhood, borrow money, beg favors, and before even graduating college, they have created their first blockbuster, Ichigo. Overnight, the world is theirs. Not even 25 years old, Sam and Sadie are brilliant, successful, and rich, but these qualities won't protect them from their own creative ambitions or the betrayals of their hearts. Spanning 30 years from Cambridge, Massachusetts to Venice Beach, California, and lands in between and far beyond, Gabrielle Zevin's Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow is a dazzling and intricately imagined novel that examines the multifarious nature of identity, disability, failure, and the redemptive possibility in play, and above all, our need to connect, to be loved, and to love. Yes, it is a love story, but it's not one you have read before. I was a little unsure about this pick when I picked it, but I didn't want to like not get it, and then people start talking about it and it's really great, and then I'm like, crap, I should have got that book when I had a chance. So, and I think I actually saw a review that someone was like, this is a really good book, but I could just be saying that because I don't know, I don't remember. Okay, we have a bookmark on this side. It says virtual book tour, so it looks like they have like a podcast going on. And then on the other side, it says, take a break from reading to listen to us talk about reading. That's cute. Okay, guys, we have made it to our final book of the month box in this video. So, once again, July's box. First up, we have Firstborn by Will Dean. I think this might be a fantasy, but it could be a thriller. The last thing a twin expects is to be alone. Molly lives a quiet, contained life in London. Naturally averse to risk, she gains comfort from security and structure. Every day is the same. Her identical twin, Katie, is her exact opposite, gregarious and spontaneous. They used to be inseparable until Katie moved to New York a year ago. Molly still speaks to her daily without fail. But when Molly learns that Katie has died suddenly, she is thrown into unfamiliar territory. Katie is part of her DNA. As terrifying as it is, she must go to New York and find out what happened. As she tracks her twin's last moments, cracks begin to emerge. Nothing is what it seems, and a web of deceit is closing in around her. This sounds like this book, where it's like, yeah, so it's like this one, like her half-sister dies and she has to investigate, and this one, her twin dies and she has to investigate. They sound similar. All right, this one I'm super excited about. So it's called You're Invited. It's by Amanda Jayatisa, and it says she'll wish she'd never RSVP'd. Don't we all? Introverted over here. So it says, what could be worse than your ex-boyfriend marrying your childhood best friend? Getting accused of her murder. When Amaya is invited to Kavi's over-the-top wedding in Sri Lanka, she is surprised and a little hurt to hear from her former best friend after so many years of radio silence. But when Amaya learns that the groom is her very own ex-boyfriend, she is consumed by a single thought. She must stop the wedding from happening, no matter the cost. But as the week of wedding celebrations begin and rumors about Amaya's past begin to swirl, she can't help but feel like she also has a target on her back. When Kavi goes missing and is presumed dead, all evidence points to Amaya. However, nothing is as it seems as Jayatisa expertly unravels that each wedding guest has their own dark secrets and agenda, and Amaya may not be the only one with a plan to keep the bride from getting her happily ever after. This sounds like The Guest List. I haven't read it, but I do know the synopsis of that book. It's like set in like Scotland or something. I remember because I did listen to it. I DNF'd it. Because the narrator had like this really annoying like fake accent. It was really bad. Like I just couldn't finish it. But I do know that it was like people gathered for a wedding and something was happening. I think like, yeah, something happened. But it reminds me of this book. And our final book in this video that we're going to talk about is by one of my favorite thriller writers, Ruth Ware, and this is The It Girl. I am excited. I don't even care what this book is about. It was an automatic add to cart. Like, it was an automatic, I have to get this. April Clark Cliveden was the first person Hannah Jones met at Oxford. Vivacious, bright, occasionally vicious, and the ultimate it girl, she quickly pulled Hannah into her dazzling orbit. Together they cultivated a group of devoted and inseparable friends, Will, Hugh, Ryan, and Emily, during their first term. By the end of the year, April was dead. Now a decade later, Hannah and Will are expecting their first child, and the man convicted of killing April, former Oxford porter John Neville, has died in prison. Hannah is relieved to have finally put the past behind her, but her world is rocked when a young journalist comes knocking and presents new evidence that Neville may have been innocent. As Hannah reconnects with old friends and delves deeper into the mystery of April's death, she realizes that the friends she thought she knew all have something to hide, including a murder. I love Ruth Ware. She's like one of my favorite thriller writers. Like, I love her books. Book of the month, I'm so happy that they gave me the opportunity to get this book without having to spend like a fortune, because this probably was going to be like 20 something. This definitely was going to be 20 bucks. $28.99? No, not me. I'm going to get it with my subscription for what? $16.99? That's a lot cheaper. That's what we're going to do. You guys, sadly, our time has come to an end, but if you want to see more videos from me like this, please consider clicking that subscribe button, because I do this all the time. That's what I do. I talk about books. If you like this video, definitely consider clicking that subscribe button. It definitely helps my video get out there to get even more subscribers and even more views. Until next time, I will see you guys later. Bye.